How's it going, everybody? Mark Sharp with the Knife Market, and was just going to update on the baby situation again because the baby is here. Baby number 3, my daughter Evelyn, was born July 19th, 2019. She was born at 35 weeks, 5 days. So my wife got back from Omaha because she was getting monitored in Omaha because they thought she was going to deliver early, like our other preemies. So, anyhow, baby is here. She got back Thursday. Decided Friday we're going to deliver. So, Friday went in. She was able to deliver at our local hospital. And then they were going to watch her. They took her right away, made sure that she was breathing okay, that she was getting oxygen okay, and holding her temperature good, and whatnot. The guy had to monitor that. Then the thing was to try to get her to take a bottle right away. And that's where we ran into some issues. So they monitored her for a day. She really wasn't taking to her bottles at all. Really wasn't drinking that much. So they ended up deciding, us and the pediatricians decided it'd be best to send her back to Omaha, send the baby back to Omaha, where they had the capabilities, where our hospital, they could have maybe took care of her and tried to help her to feed. But on a long-term basis, they didn't have that capability, really. So they just felt better, sent her down to a NICU, and try to get her to feed there. Let her get used to having bottles there. So that's ended up what happening. So my wife's back in Omaha again with our daughter, who is here, and the NICU, and I'm here with my boys. So, been trying to make this video a few times, and I had my youngest here, which was causing some problems. Now I got them in the living room watching TV, so hopefully I can get through this video. Anyhow, so that's that. We'll touch base on that. If anybody's wondering on anything on situations like that, if you care, we can talk about that some other time, and I'll make a separate video on that. Anyhow, I want to beat a dead horse here and talk about sharpening again. Yes, again. And this is like my third video talking about sharpening, but I kind of made myself look like a fool with this one, trying to sharpen it with this edge maker here. But I did end up having to sharpen it with this, and it is just a Smith electric sharpener. So it just Walmart, 26 bucks in the food aisle, electric sharpener. So a few passes through there, was able to get the edge back, and then I finished a good edge here. And printer paper, and I got her sharp. And this is running it through paper several times because I've made a video about 4 times on this. So I did get her sharp. Did get her sharp. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video, other than updating you guys, is I also got this little one. Cheapest knife I got. And I haven't sold any of these on eBay or anything. I sold a couple at a gun show. And if I can get it in there, it's a frost cutlery knife. I got from Cutlery Corner, and sold a couple of these at a gun show, and we'll see if I ever sell them on eBay or anything. But the main thing is, you know, if you get this knife and whatnot, the question is, can you sharpen it to get hair? And I don't know if you can see that. Got some dead skin and I got some hair. So you can. Just a sec. Hold up. Back. Had to get boy some juice. So, anyhow. So, this, like I said, this, run it through here. As so. And we have hair. So, you can get cheap stainless steel. I don't even know what this is. It's probably 440. It's not 440A. Maybe even less than that. I have no clue. It's just stainless steel. So, you can get them hair shaven, sharp, paper sharp. So you can do it. You can get any cheap steel to sharpen. And that is what I'm trying to get to. I'm beating a dead horse, but I like to sharpen my cheap knives. Because who knows, maybe someday I'll get an S30V or an S90V even. And try to sharpen them with these. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will be easier to sharpen. Maybe I can easily sharpen S30V, S90V with these. I'm so used and stuck in my ways that I'm used to getting these when I was a kid and did me good, and I'm still getting them. So I'm used to buying cheap knives, and with me having 3 kids that's been through the hospital and whatnot, back to back to back, I don't think that's going to change any. And I don't think I will. So, anyhow, I ain't going to beat that dead horse anymore. But I just wanted to show you guys that you can get a cheap $5 knife done. Nick Chabez even looked at a knife like this in his Terrible Knives Live. Nick Chabez. He reviewed Terrible Knives Live, the Firefighter one like this. And this is the Zombie Hunter green one. But he's looked at the Firefighter one like this. And so he had that on his Terrible Knives Live, so he looked at this and whatnot. And although this might be in his Terrible Knives, and I agree this ain't the best knife, it's by far probably one of the worst knives I've had. But I can get her sharp enough to cut paper and shave hair and whatnot. So, anyhow, that's just what I'm trying to get at. There's nothing wrong with S90V, S30V if you are used to them and if you can sharpen. It just takes practice. And I'm not one to practice and take the time to it. Um, I'm not going to get into it much. But that's just not me. We'll see what happens down the road. Maybe I'll get S90V or something S30V and whatnot. But anyhow, not saying that there's anything wrong with it. If you can sharpen it freehand, by all means, do it. Whichever way you can maintain your knife. As Super Steel Steve says, as being a knife owner, you need to maintain your knife. You taking that responsibility. You're going to use it, it's going to get dull, and you're going to have to sharpen it. Or you're going to have to send it to a sharpener. There's many, many ways to sharpen a knife. And I'm just showing you my way. By all means, if you can do it Super Steel Steve's way, watch him, watch Dutch Butchcraft Knives, DBK, watch how they sharpen. Watch Nick Chabez and his KME. There's so many different ways to sharpen. And all I'm doing is showing you my way of sharpening. This is how I do it with an electric knife sharpener and a True Guide system. Granted, you're only going to have 1 degree angle to sharpen at. I believe this is a 17 and a half degrees, which is average. If you want to do a 20 degree angle, or a 15 degree angle, or 18 degree angle, whichever you want to do, and you need a guided system, by all means, go with a KME or one of those systems. And this is just going to be a regular guided system, too. So, I'm not used to freehand. I butchered when I was young. I still butcher. We butcher our own hog. We butcher our own beef. We just have an electric knife sharpener and a sharpening rod or something like this. And this is how we sharpen our knives when we cut our meat and make sausage and all that. So, this is just what I'm used to, and it's just an easy way to do it. So, I'm just showing you that there's more ways, but if you like freehand and you get good at it because there's a knack to it and whatnot, and you can freehand strop, by all means, do it. If you like the KME system, by all means, get a KME or one of those systems and do it. I'm just showing you that this is my way, and if you can't afford a KME system or something like that, or if you can't freehand and all you're doing is dulling your knives, or you don't want to scrape them up or anything, you can do it this way too. Nothing wrong with how Super Steel Steve does it, or Nick Chabez does it with a KME, or if you're doing it freehand or whatever. Do it however which way you want to. Whichever way you can get the knife sharp. So, that is the end of that, and I will not beat that dead horse anymore saying how I do it or whatever. I will still show you guys how I do it and whatnot to demonstrate. But this is the end of me explaining why or how. Well, not how, but why I do it this way. So, and this is me explaining that there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with this. Get a work sharp. If you want to do it with a work sharp and do it with a belt, those little itty bitty belt sanders, do it that way. All I'm doing is showing you how I do it. So, you can get it done. It takes time and whatnot. This is the finest thing I got. I'm going to see if I can maybe get something finer to get because I want to try to figure out how I want to get something like this. I want to figure out how I can like strop it, but with this kind of system or whatever. And I want to try to get one of these knives or one of my cheaper, softer steels to whittle hair. I want to do what Super Steel Steve does, and I want to whittle hair. And that is going to be another goal, and that's going to be for another video. But as for now, we'll just shave hair off my arm, and we'll go through a bunch of printer paper and whatnot. Noah Dale. My son. My youngest. Anyhow. Back to that. We're going to look at other knives. More Tack Extreme knives. That we're going to look at and do. Noah. There. I have my phone on the charger. And he's pulling on the cord. So, anyhow. We're going to take some of these apart sometime. And we're going to look at them. And whatnot. And we're going to clean them up. Oil them up. Go through them. I want to see if I can get a better action on this. Because detent is nothing. And you're asking yourself, why I'm paying this any mind? Well, there is something you can use with this knife. What I would use it for is throw it in your tackle box. Use it to cut line. And normal fishing stuff. Throw it in your toolbox. Have this as your knife to clean off battery posts on batteries or your battery cables, or use it for where you're using grease and you don't want to get one of your little nicer knives chipped or dirty or anything like that. So this does have a place, and that's another thing I want to try to get through with my station, is that even a cheap knife like this, even if you can get this for like $2 or whatever, there is a place for it. There is a place for these cheap, dirt, budget, cheap knives. And you can get them. The question always is with these cheap knives is how long that edge lasts. How long does that edge hold? You can get pretty much any knife sharp. Really. But the question is, how long will the edge hold? And how sharp you can get it with your sharpening system. So, this is my last video going over why I sharpen the way I do. And that you can sharpen cheap knives. Let's not beat this dead horse anymore. He's already dead. Beat to a pulp. So, anyhow. What I was carrying today is this just regular lock back folder. And real quick, I want to show you, you can open these one-handed. But you got to be closer to the pivot, your fulcrum, whatever you want to say, the pivot. Because you have it up here, you don't have as much leverage. There's more trying to flip out. If you wing it out like I did, you can get it, but it takes a lot of work. See? You can't always get it. So hold it up here closer, and you can get it every time. So hold it closer up here, and you're going to open these one-handed with no thumb stud, no back flipper. You can open these one-handed. You can close these one-handed too. Alright. Watch. If I can get her. I usually use my pants leg, but I'll just use my side. Cut my side open. Push that back lock. Use your pants leg and your waist. Push it. Close it. Just like that. You can close lockbacks one-handed. Just push that back lock. Push it against your body. Obviously be careful. And then just use your body to close it. I usually, like I said, I usually use my pants leg. But you can close these one-handed and open them one-handed. You just gotta know what you're doing and be careful with it. So that is this. And this, I got sharp also. I do enjoy sharpening, and I will do other videos on how I sharpen, but I'm not going to explain why I do it my way anymore. This is just one way that I do it, and you can do it any way you like. If you can do it freehand, by all means, do it freehand. So, or can me. So, that dead horse is beat to death. So, anyhow, some other knives that we'll look at down the road. This little, I don't know if you would really call it a true bushcraft knife, but this is kind of what I would call, I think, kind of a bushcraft knife. Look at that back stock. That's dang thick stock. I want to look at this knife too. So, anyhow, that's my video update. Baby girl's here, and you can get cheap knives, sharp to cut hair and whatnot. You just might have to sharpen them once, twice a day, maybe just touch them up. Or the next day, depending on how hard you use them. I use mine pretty hard. So, even if I knew how to strop, I don't think I would be able to get my knives stropped up too fast, because I'm usually cutting pretty thick stuff and pretty hard stuff. And that I'll take the edge away pretty quick. So, we'll make other videos. As soon as I get some nano oil and some Loctite, we'll start taking these apart and looking inside them and whatnot. And taking a look at other knives and everything. So, I'll get to those stack extremes soon as we get things figured out with the wife and the kids, and get our baby girl here and get the wife here, and we'll get out there and start trimming some trees. Stuff out at the farm's been getting a little neglected. And you take some of these tack extreme machetes and start getting some weeds and trees. A lot of stuff's been getting neglected right now. So, anyhow, I'm gonna let you guys go. Take care of my boys. Get supper lined up. And I'll see you on the next one. Again, just real quick, I appreciate everybody that watches my videos, likes, subscribe. I do have an Instagram. I will put that in the description. I will maybe put this up on my Instagram. I wanted to get up a bunch of videos before I post it up on Instagram, because I'm following a lot of big name people on YouTube. and I got them liked on Instagram, and I wanted to make sure I get good enough videos up and enough videos explaining myself and putting myself out there, because I enjoy being in the knife community. I'm almost looking into putting this in as a side business deal on trading, selling knives and whatnot. But I don't want to make myself out to look like a fool, because I'm using cheap budget stuff. I'm liking cheap budget stuff. But we'll get into more name brand stuff down the road maybe. I do have some more Kershaws that I'll show in the years to come, months to come even. So, and we'll get more into stuff, and I'm looking at getting more YouTube videos out as soon as things calm down. Once a week, one video a week, 2 videos a week, maybe even 4 or 5, or maybe even one a day out. I want to try to get this going and try to make this a thing. And it'd be nice to make some money on it, but I'm going to be as honest as I can about these knives. As I said in a few videos before, I ain't going to lie to you guys. If I try to sell something, I'm going to tell you how it is. I ain't going to try to glorify it. I ain't going to sell you a glorified turd. So, anyhow, like, subscribe, check me out on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram username in the description, and hopefully you guys accept me in the knife community with open arms, and that you have another variance of someone that's out there that's even showing you the cheap stuff and how good they are and how bad they are. So this is just another, hopefully, YouTube channel that you guys can get into and see what the cheap stuff does along while you're watching Nick Chabez and seeing the Chris Reeve knives and Wee knives and ZT knives and all this other stuff. So anyhow, enough with me rambling. We'll see what I come up with the next one, and see if I can come up with some better stuff. Till next time, I'll see you guys later.